Hi y'all, and welcome back to Cricut 101. Today we're going to be working on the website, learning how to attach different files, do welding, and some slicing. So here we go. Okay, today we're going to work on how to do an attachment function. So the attach has two uses: to hold your cuts in the same position relative to how you have them on your canvas, so that they cut in uniform. It also fastens a line type such as a draw, a score, or a foil to the cut layer. So first we're going to work on attaching a program together. So we're going to go into our images and we're going to select an image. And then once you have your image selected, you're going to hit Insert Image. And that's going to bring it up on your design space. So then say you want to add some text to what you have here. So you type whatever you want to add, and you can change the font just by going to where it says font and pushing the arrow down, and that will give you several different fonts that you can choose from. And if there's something you want, you just select on it and it will change your font. So now that we have our image, and this is how we want to get it cut. So now we're going to select all, and then we're going to go down here to the bottom of the screen where there's a little paper clip and it has an attach written under it. And we're going to click that. So now that is going to attach our file where we can move it anywhere we want on our canvas, but they are now connected. So when we go to cut this out, it's going to cut out exactly how we have it here. If you decide that you want to change things up a little bit, or you don't like how the final product is, you can go back down to the paper clip and hit detach, and it will take the items separate again, and you can move them around until you have them exactly how you want them. And then again, you'll hit select all and back to the attach, and that will attach the items back again for you. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut out this particular item that we have just to show you how it is attached when it cuts out. This is great for like t-shirts, or if you're doing mugs or something like that and you want to have everything all lined up the way you want it. So we're going to go to our Make It. And then it's going to show us our matte canvas, and it's going to show us exactly where our item is that we want to cut. Now, if you have several items that you want to cut out of the same color, but you're in different programs, you can easily move each item to a different spot on your mat. That way you don't have to continuously switch the paper around or add new sheets of paper. So we're going to go ahead and turn on our machine. And then we're going to open it up. And on this particular machine, it has a dial as far as if you want to use paper, vinyl, iron-on, light cardstock. There's also a custom button. That way, if you're doing iron-on or glitter or foil, then you choose custom and you can go in and decide what item you're going to use. So I already have a piece of paper here loaded on my mat, and what we're going to do is we're going to line it into the grooves, and then we're going to hit the little double arrow button, and that's going to feed our mat into the machine. Okay, now we're in our Make It screen. So we have our material, which is the light cardstock. It's going to tell us what blade to use, which we use our fine point blade, which already comes with your Cricut, and it is preloaded in there. So we have our mat loaded. And now on your Cricut, you're going to see a little flashing C. You're going to hit that button, and your machine is going to do the rest. Once it is finished cutting, you're going to hit the arrows again, and that's going to remove your mat screen. So if we were to peel back the paper, it's going to show you that your image is lined up perfectly like you had it on your screen. So the next thing we're going to work with is doing an attachment file that has writing over top. So we are going to select a shape this time, and we'll do a heart. So if we were making a card or something for somebody, we wanted to just put "I love you" on the heart or something along those lines. You're going to go to your text box. You're going to type in whatever you want it to say. And then you're going to be able to move the size big or little depending on how big your project is, the way you want it. And then we're going to go where it says operations, and we're going to hit draw, and we're going to choose the pin. So we're going to do our heart writing "I love you" in black. So now we have it here on the heart. We're going to hit select all. We're going to go back down to the paper clip and hit attach. And that is going to put our writing onto our heart. So if we move that all over the screen, as you can see, it is now attached. The "I love you" isn't going to go anywhere. If you decide that's not exactly how you want to have it, you go back down to the paper clip again and you deattach it. Then you can move your writing around. You can turn it. If you want it to say something different, you can change your typing. You can change your font to something a little more fancy. And then once you're set and you have it exactly how you want it again, you're going to go back down to the paper clip and hit attach. Okay, so now we have it selected on there, and again, we can move it all over the screen and it's going to show us what we have. So when we're all set to print this out, we're going to hit make it. And as you see on your canvas, it's going to have your heart and it's going to say "I love you." So again, we're using just our plain cardstock paper. So we're going to load this into the machine. We're going to hit continue. Now this time, it's going to show us that we need a pin as well as a blade. So our pin is going to go in dock A. So your Cricut will come with one black pen. There are many other colors that you can get through Cricut, or on Amazon you can get these nifty little inserts that you can then use a Sharpie or other kinds of markers to put in it. So we're going to clip our pin into our A socket and we're going to close the clamp. Now we are going to hit our C button again, and it is going to start doing the work for us. Once it's done, we're going to hit the arrows to unload our mat, and we will peel our project off, and you will have your heart that says "I love you." So those are two different ways you can use the attachment button to create different projects. Usually when you are creating a t-shirt or something along those lines, you're going to want to use the attach function where you put your whole project together. That way it lines up on a t-shirt. We will get into that in a later episode. So we're finished with attaching files. Now we're going to go into being able to weld an image together if you want to create a new image. So we're going to go into shapes and we're going to select a square. We're going to move it here on our canvas a little bit, and then we'll go into shapes again and we'll select a triangle. So say you want to attach these two items together, that way you can create an arrow or a house or something along those lines. To do that, we're going to use our welding image. So what you're going to do is take one shape and slightly overlap it on the other. And once you have that done, you're going to hit select all. And then you'll notice at the bottom of your screen, there is a little weld arrow. So you're going to hit that, and it is now going to attach both your items together. That way, when it cuts, it's just going to cut the outer perimeter here. It's not going to cut where the two items were attached. Okay, so now we have our items connected, and we're going to count the outside perimeter. So we're going to hit make it. And on your screen now, you're going to see that the item is in fact together. So we're going to hit continue. And again, we'll load our paper into the machine. Now, because I've made a couple different cuts on my mat, we're going to change the alignment on the screen to get it to cut over off to the side. That way I don't have to change the paper. And then we're going to go ahead and align our paper back into the machine, load it. I'm just going to rip this off because it's kind of in the way. Usually you would have this gone because you would be using another project. We're going to hit our C button. Once it's done, we'll unload it. And now we have our new shape that we created, welding the two together. Another use for the welding is if you want to attach words together. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of this here. And we're going to go into our text. So if I want to, let's see, we'll do this one. Let me find one here that's not multi. Okay. In our text, we'll just use my name. Now this would be if you just went on and did regular, typed it in. Now if you want to attach the letters together in the name, you'll go to the text box and you'll do each letter individually. So you'll hit your text box each time you want to add a new letter. And because we already have one on the screen, we're just going to kind of move them out of the way. And to do that, you'll just hold down on whatever image that you want. And then you'll just move it along. Now that we have our letters individual and we want to attach them, we're just going to move them over and slightly we're going to overlap them. That's going to get rid of any cut line that would be in the way. So we're going to hit select all. And then we're going to hit weld. And this is going to cut the two different ways. That way you can see the difference in having each individual letter or the letters combined. So we're going to move this over on our screen because we have other stuff cut on our paper already. We're going to hit continue. And then we're going to feed our board back into the machine here. And then hit our C to cut it. Okay, now that it's finished, we're going to remove it. And we'll have the difference between each individual letter, or let's remove this one off of here, or where it's attached all together. Now this is great if you want to use like cursive writing or anything like that where you want everything to be attached together. Now one other thing we're going to do today, let's get out of this. We're going to start a new project. We're going to replace it. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is slicing. So slicing is taking two images and putting them together to cut one image out. So today we're going to use a tag. So we're going to type in what we want to find and we're going to hit search. And we're going to go to just a simple tag. So we'll click on the one we want and we'll hit insert image. And that's going to bring it up to our canvas screen. So say we want to cut hearts or stars or something into our image. So we're going to go to shapes, and those are already pre-cut. So we're just going to do a star here. And I'm going to change the color of the star just so you can see the difference of where we're putting it. And to do that, you can go up into the operations and change if you have different colors of paper or something like that that you want to use, just to give you an idea of what they're going to look like together. So we have our star and we're going to change the shape of it a little, or the size of it a little bit. And we're going to move it on to where we want it on our tag. And then to slice it in, you're going to hold the shift button and click on it at the same time. And a box should appear. And that's going to leave your star on your paper. Now, if you want to add several stars, you can click on what you want and hit duplicate. And that will duplicate how many items that you want. And then you can move them around to wherever you want them, and then they will cut out that way. So once we have our tag, we're going to add each box, and we're going to hit the slice button at the bottom. Over in this side, you'll see where it gives you your different things. So you know that you've sliced the star into the tag. So now if you move it, you're going to see where you have your cutout. So we can get rid of anything that we don't want just by deleting them. Right click and then hit delete. And then when you cut this out, you're going to have the star cut out in the center of your project. So again, we'll go to make it. And we're going to move it so we can use the same piece of paper. And then we'll hit continue. We'll load our mat into our machine. And this time we're going to use the fast mode. So before you press go, you change this to the fast mode, and then you hit your C on your machine. And then we're going to unload our machine, pull it off, and you will have your star cut in the middle of your tag. So today we have learned how to attach files, weld files, and slice into our project. I'd like to thank everybody for watching today. Be sure to follow our next episode of Cricut 101 and other items and projects that are going on through the Williams County Public Library on Facebook or our Twitter page. Thank you.